At this point, it's time to just pick a part that we would like to scan and talk about how we want to set up the environment and because we have basically 2 to 3 different workflows, the ways of doing it.
Okay, sure. We'll
So
just start with that. Yeah.
Start with that. Perfect. So we'll set ourselves up comfortable on the corner here where we can go around. We want to be able to have a nice full vision of our part. Okay, so do we want to try this guy like that with minimal amount of targets to begin with?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. So we'll set this guy up while I guess like this. Now we don't have a lot of targets on here, so it's going to be important that it doesn't move on the table.
Okay.
And oddly enough, what might help is by putting something like this remote, because that gives the scanner a unique position. Right? If I'm over here, oh, I see the remote. If I'm over there, oh, I see the remote this way. So any kind of randomness, distinctive stuff lying around sometimes that can really help. It sounds a little counterintuitive, but yeah, it really does help. The worst possible thing is like if I have a nice surface like this, and then I put targets all evenly spaced in a grid pattern. Big no-no. Big no-no.
Yeah, random.
Another thing is when you're putting targets, usual rule of thumb, rock on. That's the distance between targets.
Okay.
Roughly 4 inches.
Double arms.
So we'll look at the resolution. We'll probably want to bring that down to 1 because of the thickness of our maple leaf, the stem. That should be pretty good. We have those there, those there, those there. We don't care about the texture. That should go away as we go. So now we're just ready to hit scan, basically. Yeah, you need to apply because we unchecked capture texture. Now, why did it still show up? I don't know.
The texture?
Yeah, I don't know why it's still there, but anyway. It shouldn't appear like it shouldn't.
So when you change the resolution and all that, you don't need to recalibrate anything. You don't
No.
need to just.
You just need to hit
go away,
apply.
go. Okay.
Like, and another thing too is you can change the resolution while you're scanning, not
Okay.
live.
So you just
But-
stop the scan, change it, start it up.
It's gonna apply the new resolution to your scan, and like any little missing pockets of data at that resolution will show up, and you'll know where to spend more time scanning.
Okay, cool.
Right, so I can't
A
change
lot
it.
of things are doable, while you're
Yeah.
scanning. Just a couple of the main sacred rule is don't move the part.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
the end.
because tomorrow I'm gonna bring in like a bust or something if I remember. I will.
Okay.
But it's got a whole bunch of like complicated surfaces. There's no flat surface. There is no.
Right.
And everything is different on every
Right.
single bit. So I guess
That's
you're gonna
gonna
have to.
That's gonna help with no targets because everything is distinctive, everything is
Okay.
unique.
Okay.
That should help.
Okay.
And if for whatever
Scan
reason
it
it's
more.
losing tracking too much, we'll put targets on the table around it.
Okay.
If push comes to shove, that's something else we can do. So whoever wants to go,
Sure, I'll go.
Yeah.
If I can make it safely over here.
there we go.
Oh, leave that
Yeah,
there.
leave that there. And we don't care, like in the sense that we'll get rid of it.
Default, like my default is
Yeah.
to clean the
Clean it
area.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here it's sort of like just to make it a little more distinctive.
And the spider web thing, you'd kind of start with the leaf and then go.
I'd start on the corner. Yeah. You're just
Start on the corner?
Yes. You see, stop. You're losing tracking. You see how it's got that don't orbit bit on the corner there,
Bottom right.
on the bottom right. the big logo with the
box.
box and the.
Oh, yeah, okay.
We go back to the front. There we go. So here, just to illustrate, I will
Yep.
illustrate this first. Let's reset the scan entirely. So just reset the scan just to,
So just pause it?
Or, no.
or hit
Reset the scan, I see, okay.
Yeah. That's fine.
Okay.
So I have my distance meter to here. Now I want to start like here. Why? Because I'm capturing this face, this, and part of the leaf, as opposed to just being in front of the leaf.
Okay.
So if I'm like this, see, it's sort of.
Oh, you got that logo.
Really finicky, this guy. Come on. Okay. Oh, okay, I know why.
Is it a distance thing?
No. Okay, my bad.
Just like the down.
No, my bad. I believe. Okay, let me just try. Gonna reset it one last time. I just want to validate what I'm thinking. And sorry, it's just because I'm not used to this shape of scanner. Yeah, so it didn't screw up as much.
I see. So-
Okay, both cameras need to be seeing the same thing. Because I started like this, one camera seeing this, one camera seeing that. By starting 90 degrees, both cameras are looking at the same corner.
So that's why the new ones are like basically like
That's
a
right.
stick.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this isn't a camera?
That's the, I believe that is the, yes, I think it is a camera. I'm not sure. I know one of these projects the light, like projects the QR pattern.
Oh.
And then the other ones acquire. I think the top projects the pattern. These two are for orientation. This guy's for color.
Oh.
Something like that. So there we go. Yeah. I go back here. Yeah. Oh.
Reset?
We have targets required. There's not enough targets.
Oh,
We need to see 4 targets per frame, absolute minimum.
more targets. Or
More
or
targets would
remove.
be, so let's
So
reset
4
this again.
targets, like, so 4 targets per surface.
A little more than that. That's why we say space them out 4 inches.
Okay.
Because as I'm moving around, in the window that's scanning, I should see 4 targets minimum at all time.
Oh,
For it to be really nice and smooth and for it to work really good.
okay.
So now let's uncheck targets required. Up, nope, up on the
Right.
hardware panel, on the right side.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. Now let's hit scan. Okay, it may not pick up the remote super good because it's black and my shutter speed is set for the sandstone. But already,
You can kind of see the where it's missing the remote, isn't it?
yeah, like there's a few white buttons and a few colored buttons on the remote. So it is picking those up. And again, it's not gonna pick them up super crisply because my resolution is set at 1. When those buttons, in reality, I should be down to 0.5, easily. And now it's working on, it's a lot smoother. Okay, so a couple of factors here that didn't help us in the beginning. And I want to basically orbit about 1 foot out from my part. And see, look, I come back to where I was. Try to get a little more. Always come back. Now this helps here, this a bit here. Again, I don't want to be, try not to be too far, too close. Another thing is on the device itself, when you're squeezing the trigger, you'll see that when you're at the proper distance, you'll get the green light in the middle.
Okay.
Too close, oh, now I lost track. When I lose track, both red lights come on. That means I'm not tracking right. If the red light up top lights up, it means I'm too close. If the red light at the bottom, means I'm too what? Means I'm too far. So that's an indication on the device itself,
Right.
to let you know if you're in the right ballpark. So you can't overscan.
Okay.
That's something else worth mentioning. You can't overscan. Think of this as digitally spray painting. So it's line of sight. If I had a can of spray paint, would paint reach on what I'm trying to see with this?
Right.
Would I cover it?
Right.
Right? If not, I'm not gonna get it.
Mm.
You know? And again, same kind of movements of being around, up, as if I had a spray gun in my hand. Same kind of speed, same
Yeah. Okay.
kind of precautions, if you will, around.
Mhm.
So
Is
if
that one dot that I put on too close to the edge?
On top.
maybe we might get a bulge. It might bulge. We'll see. Oh, here, and let's take a break too at the same time. Let's do something while we're at it. So now we're gonna hit that pause button up at on the scan side. Yeah. Okay, so this is definitely an older version of VX, but with our modern looking interface. Okay, so that's not too bad. Now, we got the table. We don't care about the table. We don't want to spend resources or time, whatever, acquiring that table. It's of no use to us. So what we're gonna do is add a clipping plane. And then we're gonna say per 3 vertices. Then we're gonna pick 3 points and a triangle on our table.
Just anywhere on the table.
Yep. Boom. Then we have an offset
That was
of
easy.
1 millimeters, like one millimeter. We can increase or decrease.
Does that go
That's a
up or down?
If you increase, it's gonna keep going up. Basically, what's red is what's gonna be trimmed.
Whoa. Shit. Oops. Right. Okay.
So because we have a 1 millimeter offset, it will chunk in a little bit to our part itself.
So it's a little bit higher.
It's a
right
little
now?
bit higher. You see how it's sort of, yeah, see 0, but then we still have a bit of that table edge there, right? Now, again, normally we'll flip the part over in another scan and we'll complete the part. It doesn't matter if I don't have that surface just yet. Actually, we have a couple of ways of doing this. If we wanted to, we could say put the offset at 0.
Mhm. Oops.
Ooh, does 0 even do something? It does enough. It does enough. And then because in this very exceptional case, we know that this is just like a piece of brick basically, and it's perfectly flat underneath.
Mhm.
We could flat fill it after.
Right.
Or we could spend the time flipping it around, capturing the bottom, and then merging those 2 scans together.
But it's easier probably just to put it on.
Given how straightforward this is, your fabrication and all that, I'd just chop it off and just fill it straight at the bottom. I'd make sure the edge is grit there later in VX model, and I'd just disc flat, like fill it like a disc underneath. No big deal if you're off by 0.2 millimeters. I don't think it's really, so go ahead and create. Unfortunately, come to think of it, yeah, we will capture still a little bit of the table probably just because the table is not perfectly flat. It's not like a marble, right? But the nice feature here is that we're now disconnected. right? So,
This is
Let's see.
disconnected from this.
yeah,
Okay,
well, if we pan around,
that's with the
Uh,
middle. No.
so we're only missing the back face so far.
And that could be flat filled as well.
In this case, yeah, I'm still gonna go around because I feel that I should still be getting that edge
Oh,
to make sure that we have it all around. Like, you know, I didn't stop prematurely here, but I do have a little bit of this to be sure. So again, I could go ahead and pick up where I left off. So we'll just go ahead and hit scan again. And now I won't be scanning anything underneath my clipping plane. I just won't be acquiring any data there. I don't care about it.
It's a boundary.
It's a boundary, it's just not gonna grab the data there. So, go back to my known position and slowly but surely. Yeah, I thought so. Trying to follow the distinctive feature here. There we go. Aha,
yeah.
I feel better about that. Yes, I have a little bit of. So did it double up on, oh, it doubled up on me. It doubled up on me. No good.
Is that because we didn't start in the?
No, I started right, but I was too ambitious in my move. And because there were no targets, it sort of assumed it re-picked up at a different location and started doubling it up on me.
Oh, I see. It thought it was somewhere that it wasn't.
That's right.
So, is there an undo for that?
Yes, and that leads me to the next subject. So this is a perfect example. I'm glad it happened. Right, we have a situation where we have a double depth scan. We need to get rid of it. So that's where we're gonna go. We're gonna select part of what we know is wrong. Well, that's one way of doing it. So just go ahead and say, so we can go ahead and grab the brush, which is right there. One up, yeah. Okay, now we can go ahead and just brush like where we know it's doubled up. So if you pan around, if you rotate around, some more, okay. So now that blue surface there, that is, this guy here is no good. So now we're gonna hit Control on the keyboard and hold it. And now we're just gonna make a line on it. Yeah, that's good enough. So that's my selection. Now I'm gonna go ahead and say delete frames. Huh? No? Okay, go ahead and click on that blue surface.
With control?
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it's actually a little smarter than I thought. So we see that what's in red are those acquired frames, those wrongly acquired frames. And we see them being checked in our delete frames box. So if we can pan around. Okay, so we got that.
See the buttons a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's
Looking decent.
looking pretty good.
We can scroll down a bit more in that box and make sure.
Zoom in.
No, I mean, sorry, the delete frame, yeah. Go all the way down, okay. Then you could go ahead and hit delete frames. Now that cannot be undone. That's just a fact of life. When we delete data like that in a session like this, there is no Control C, there is no undo. It's permanent. So just heed that warning. Make sure that you've really gotten rid of what you wanted to get rid of, and you've kept what was of.
Oh, so this is bad too.
Yeah, click on that too.
So that didn't get doubled.
Let's see it pan around, but it looks like it's the wrong. Okay, we need to click it on the other side.
Like over in this piece.
So
here.
hit escape, yeah. Okay, and then make sure to click like the, get pan around. Yeah, yeah, right there, yeah. So go to delete frames. No, the brush won't work. The brush won't, just go to delete frames up at the top
Okay.
and click.
One of
It's
the-
all ready to, yeah.
Okay.
In this version, it's just ready to go. There we go. Yeah, so that's more of what we want to get rid of. Delete frames.
Still a part sticking out the
There's
front.
still more sticking up.
Oh, yeah. So,
Yeah, click up on it. Yeah, just very locally on the.
oops.
Yeah. Right there. Yeah, just because what looks good is red doesn't mean you're getting rid of too much, right? Because we've hovered over that extensively. We have that information in other frames.
So you think this is just another surface?
Yeah, I think that's just another doubled up surface. I wouldn't be afraid to hit the delete frames.
Okay.
So still being a pain in the ass a little bit. Or is that just floaters though at this point? Yeah, okay, I delete that. I see the blue underneath. And if we've deleted too much, I mean, we just go back to the scanner and keep scanning. I mean, it's ooh, that's a lot of frames.
Because
That is a lot of frames. 1200 frames. Maybe we went a little too much.
But I guess to like,
So we still have.
Ah, shit.
But that's why we still have a lot of frames in a session. We still have a lot of information having hovered over it.
yeah, 81,000 triangles.
but if we'd had more targets on this on all the sides,
Oh, it wouldn't be-
have happened.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. In fact, I got some targets with me. And there's something else too. It's a good time to show them. It's a good time to bring this out. This is gonna help us tremendously. Another thing you can do, if you have access to a 3D printer, or we sell them, but they're kind of overpriced.
You're not supposed to say that. Oh, look at that. Play some
D&D dice.
D&D.
Yeah, one of the videos we saw, they had like little triangular for painting things.
We'll ditch the remote and use these. Cause those are targets.
So Santa can go do it.
Oh yeah.
To make them.
So I have a collection of those D&D dice, but also like just plain old.
Yeah.
One of the best for this type is they call those, I think, painter's triangles.
Yeah, they're yellow.
Yeah.
That's what the video had, yeah.
You'd have 3 per side, and it's a triangular base.
Yeah.
So now I think for what we can just go ahead and reset the scan.
Yeah.
We get the idea, we've been through the bases, but for the time it's gonna take, it's just better to reset and start over.
Click off delete.
Yeah, there we go. So show positioning status, and even if we don't check the targets required, it's still gonna use them
Oh, yeah.
in the scan. They're still perfectly relevant in helping us keep track. One very important thing with this particular example, very important that this guy doesn't move in relation to those.
Sure.
Because they're in our environment and we don't have enough on here. Like, it's not like we have most of the targets on the part and less in the environment. The majority is in the environment now. Important that nothing moves. Just go ahead. That was a little too far. So now I haven't, you know, already right off the bat, I haven't.
It seems like it's picking it up a lot quicker too with those on the ground.
Yeah, I'm not,
Or is that-
because
or
it's
that
not,
just me?
yes, because it is now mapped in space a lot better, a
Yeah,
lot
right.
quicker. It's not, and now I have 4 frames, I have like, you know, 4 to 5 targets in my frame.
Mhm.
It's not trying to track itself on what it's scanning so much. Yes, and we're still using it, but we've helped it immensely. And now that I have my D&D, whoop, that's a little too. Come on. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I got caught in a pole there, but yeah, I'll just hover over this side. There we go. So I picked up some targets there. I have my back face here. Okay, it looks like there might be a bit of doubling up, but it's very rough like this. I'd be willing to stop basically. Yeah. Well, pause.
We'll either have our stones on a banker table or maybe a lazy Susan would be worth getting.
I mean, it's worth the investment. Walk over to Princess Auto and you don't have to buy it from us necessarily. It's just any black Lazy Susan with
Anything
targets
that's
will
gonna
do.
carry a stone, like some of them are pretty heavy.
And it has to be large enough that you can still fit dots on the,
Yeah.
on the. Susan
Does it have to be black or can it be white as long as you set the parameters?
It can be
to-
white. There are situations like I've made panels myself, homemade at home. I've made them white. I've made them black.
Cause I've got Lazy Susans at home, right, but they're all white at the end of the day. So if I bring in a Lazy Susan tomorrow, that's white.
Well,
We
it's
set the resolution down to,
It depends though.
cause the clay's like a grayish and the base is white, so you don't wanna.
You don't have the same
Contrast
kind of
isn't very-
contrast.
We'll just
Okay.
get one, like,
Yeah.
don't bring.
Or honestly,
For like
just
tomorrow
spray
we
paint
scan
it.
it,
Just
right,
spray paint
right,
it.
yeah.
Spray paint it flat black.
No, okay, yeah.
Then eventually, if it gets too scratched over time, just recoat it again.
Yeah, exactly.
Like either black gravel guard or flat black at whatever hardware store.
Yeah, yeah.
As long as it's dry and you stick the targets on it after, really doesn't matter.
Okay.
Maybe just don't use one that's glass.
Yeah.
So it's cleaned up pretty good, and we appear to have most of our faces. We've created the clipping plane. Now, that's great. One more thing, let's get rid of the floaters, right? Because right now we got our scan, it's good, but we still have those, and we have like floating debris, if you will, noise.
Above the plane.
Yeah, well, you see how there's a bunch of schmickies here, there's floaters there, right?
Oh, I see, okay.
That's not clean, that's stuff we just want to get rid of. So, we're gonna go over to our selection tools over here on the side, and instead of using the brush, we're gonna go down to I call it the solid doorway, the connect. Now I'm gonna hit Control and click our stone. Click the part that's of interest to us. Okay, so notice how the only thing that's of interest to us is now orange. Right? Everything else is blue. All right, now you don't have that. Right, you don't have that option in here. So we're gonna do it the old-fashioned way. How do we get rid of that? We'll invert the selection. So we're gonna invert using this modifier. So that's everything else that's become orange. Then we're gonna hit delete. Yep. Or hit delete on the keyboard or delete the triangles. Yep. Continue.
So the modern version, you wouldn't be using the flip?
No, we have a special option here that says keep only,
Okay.
so it's a one-click situation. Just makes it more intuitive and, but some people still prefer to do it this way, just because they don't, it's a psychological feel safer if I do it that way.
Yeah, more control. What about the noise that's in the stem there?
Yeah, if we zoom in a bit. Yeah, okay, so that's a little, I'm a little disappointed. We could clean that up in VX Model. The other option is we could bump up the resolution. We could say, let's bring it down to 0.5 or 0.8 or, and then apply the changes, see what happens, and see if we need to scan maybe there's some more to get more data. Or
Could we rescan? Like you said, this is
oh yeah, no,
open,
nothing is moved. I haven't moved the targets. I haven't done anything.
so we could do that.
We could do whatever we want.
So
We
let's try it
reduce
out.
the resolution.
Yeah, so reduce that down to 0.5,
And
then you hit apply.
And then if you just rescan it, then it'll just make it more,
You'll just grab more data. You'll just make it that much
and it won't
crisper.
like superimpose on it, so you won't have to delete.
No, as long as
Oh,
I don't.
okay.
The only time it'll
So you're
superimpose like it did is if it loses tracking.
That's a sharp on problems. That's cool.
So to replace the coarseness with more fine results in that stem.
Yeah.
We'll try.
Again, I don't want to push or anything, but I know that in the later versions of VX, you can manually locally select where you want more resolution. So I only want more resolution in the stem. I don't care about anything else. I really just want the
Just
stem.
that little
I can
bit,
paint it
and then
and then apply the resolution just on where it's painted.
Oh, I see.
really?
So we're applying this finer resolution.
Across everything.
Oh, I thought we were getting, so if I wanted to,
Okay, that's normal. We have a lot more floaters. We have a lot more floaters in our stem. If we zoom in the stem,
what I was wondering is, like, I thought if you change this resolution and then rescan this area at a higher or a finer resolution.
no, you're applying it across. I know what you're saying,
You're adding
but
small triangles on top of big triangles, basically?
no.
No.
What we've just done now is increase the resolution of the whole thing.
Okay, so this is always scanning at the finest resolution. We're just representing it.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's how I was saying before, how the acquisition doesn't change. It's how much time and how much data we're really collecting.
Right.
That's the, the trick we're playing on ourselves when we're playing with the resolution is how much information am I getting?
Right. Okay.
Now we could do another cleanup to get rid of all that and then see how clean our stem really is.
Right, okay, so we go into this guy.
Control. Zoom out. Make sure, yeah, and then we'll invert. Okay, so how's the stem? If we look in closer,
So these are all connected, I guess.
unfortunately, they're all slightly connected. There's something else we could do, which would kind of like simplify our lives. We'll zoom out and we'll purposely remove more information. So what we're gonna do is use the brush. Okay, and basically position your view properly where like the maple leaf is like normal to us ish. That's good enough. And just cover the stem with the brush.
Cover this down with the brush, okay.
Yeah, so hit control. Scroll, yeah, you can even scroll when you use the thumb wheel and you scroll the thumb wheel, you'll change the diameter of the brush. So you can make it wider and just grab the whole stem some more. Or you could play with the slider either way.
Sorry, say that again, so I can.
Hit control.
Control, oh, I see, yeah, I see it now, okay.
Yeah, and now go ahead. Let's clean up, let's just grab all that stem and grab everything and get rid of it.
So whatever these down.
Yeah.
touching
It's
is
just trying to get rid of it as most as possible there, yeah. That's good, that's good. Okay, hit delete. And yes, we will end up with the hole. And no, it cannot be undone. Let's go over it again. Another thing we can do is apply a modifier.
Ooh, you can.
Yep, you can do that too.
After
Yep.
you've drawn it too, that's nice.
Okay. We have the modifier here, which is, I call it the 2 slices of cheese. It's the one up top there, yeah. Select through. So that's gonna cut through everything. It's gonna be like a scalpel, like a surgeon removing a tumor. It's just gonna lop through everything. So you gotta make sure that you're really in the proper orientation and you're not getting rid of something that would be behind your selection. Now in this case it's okay, we know that underneath this is the ground basically, we're not clipping anything in the back. So now you can go ahead and hit the brush again, just like that. Yep, go ahead, control, hold control, there we go, brush that. There we go, hit delete. So now we've basically removed the stem and created a big hole. But we're now scanning at 0.5.
Oh, and you wanna rescan now?
Yeah, so now let's just,
Gotcha.
we'll pick up where we left off, we'll hit scan.
I thought we were gonna have to draw it.
Yeah, I was thinking the whole.
Yeah.
I'm too close. Yeah, it's too. Yeah, I think we might be hitting a wall. Okay, let's see what that does. We will have tried. Worst case, we will fill it in VX model.
So we need to.
Stop, pause, yeah,
Okay,
pause.
that's right.
Oh, maybe another thing too is not decimate so much. Maybe. This is where I'd say maybe it's not always 100. Maybe if we decimate a little less, leave more room for enhancement. I'm a little bit in unknown territory. I'm sort of.
That's fine, I have no idea how to even start, so this is good.
Yeah, it's almost.
I mean, it's not really fair, right? I do this for a living
Yeah.
all the time. I'm, across a wide range of products. This is actually so old to me that it's new.
Oh, okay.
It's the government. How old is that scanner?
2019.
2019 probably?
No. The last person that was trained on this was in 2019.
Yeah, 2018, June 2018.
Okay, because I have an identical one at the office and it's 2016.
Okay. So it's maybe the last
So,
years of that generation.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because these probably came out 10 years ago. Ish.
We got the last
So if you
batch.
take 10 years ago, this is pretty darn good. It's, we are not where we were.
We're working with stones that were cut like 150 years ago, so.
And again, this is fine. Like, you don't need to upgrade for the shapes and everything. You're gonna get away with everything you need.
Just for the simple
fine.
stuff we do, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. You're not making aircraft. You're not inspecting
No.
dents and fuselages and wing profiles, and everything's. Why spend when you don't have to?
And I'm just curious, like, so let's say there was like a minute crack in that stone or a fault. Would that scanner pick it up?
If it's half a millimeter or bigger, yeah.
It picked up the little. There's like a
Yeah.
little pickle on the back, and it picked that up.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It just doesn't look good when you're when you stop scanning. But when you actually stop and look, it does come out pretty decent. Like this, it's pretty good. Like we even see the saw marks, right? We see the saw marks, how it's not perfectly smooth on the sides. You see the blade or whatever was used to cut it.
Chisel. I think that it was probably
Chisel?
cut by blade first, and then someone went over it with a chisel to get
Okay.
that texture. Yeah.
So okay, so the stem, kind of, I'm a little disappointed. I was expecting slightly better for the stem, but what doesn't help is it's sort of like narrow but deep. So like a rule of thumb, we say like when there's holes on a part or whatever, we say you'll usually get the equivalent of the diameter of the hole in depth,
Right.
in depth definition. And that's like with our top of the line laser crosshairs bit, right? So because this guy is a lot deeper than it is narrow, that's why we're getting this sort of crappy result in this particular case. But we can trim that, we can still make that better. And that's why I wouldn't want the holes to be filled automatically. I want to have control come in, cut off certain things, bridge, fill holes, the way I know it's supposed to be. Because if I leave the algorithm, if we do autofill holes, move that slider up to whatever, 50 or 100, and you hit apply. There won't be any holes, but it's not going to be. I don't think, I'd be really surprised if they're filled the way we would want them to be.
Might not be a stem at all, right? It's just gonna be.
Yeah, well,
it's gonna be flat, middle.
You're running VX7, VXElements 7, and VXElements 12 is probably gonna come out in a couple of months. There's a lot of versions just in a few years.
Yeah.
Really iterated on the.
And has the interface changed much? Like if we 12 would be kind of
12 would be more features, and like you wouldn't have. Let's see, no, 11 you still have those sliders, but you'd have the keep only that you don't have here. And you would also be able to get some straight measurements directly here in VX Scan. You wouldn't have to go in VX Model.
So by auto-filling holes, we seem to get a lot of floaters.
Yeah, and it still hasn't filled them all.
Hasn't filled these holes.
We have the stem, but we see how it's like the stem is kind of bubbly. So again, it doesn't really change. To me, it's a questionable slider. It's a questionable feature. It hasn't done much. Also, let's not forget to save. There is no autosave
Ooh, save.
So when you reach a certain point in your scan, we're like, you know, okay, good, I don't want to start over, save. Save it. And you might have to do the process again of cleaning it. I'm not sure. I'm surprised it generates that much noise every time you re-finalize.
Yeah, considering it's a pretty simple shape.
Yeah.
I think this laptop's also from 2018.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised it's working as good as it is. I had a customer. I was surprised his system even worked on the laptop he had with the.
Like, I'm thinking ideally you'd want a Mac or something for that.
No.
Oh, no.
The opposite.
Oh, really?
No, stay the F away from Mac.
Really, yeah? So I thought
Yeah.
they were more like an artsy type of
No.
graphic design type of thing.
SolidWorks doesn't even.
No. You want Windows. You want. Well, see mine over there.
Mhm.
There's another one after, but that guy there has 64 gigs of RAM, 12 gigs of GPU on Windows 11.
Okay.
And I don't know why there's one particular scanner that cooked it.
Oh, yeah.
It shut down on me. It thermal locked on me. I couldn't.
Really?
It got so hot, I couldn't turn it back on. And since then, I got a few blue screens and
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, some people will use a Mac, but you have to have a software called Parallel, so you can run Windows at the same time. So
And you don't want to go there with this.
Oh, okay.
And you really don't want to start doing that with this equipment.
Okay.
Okay, so that's.
So yeah, so we can fix the rest of it. So if we're happy with this first model, we can definitely save it somewhere. And that's our session file. So as long, like, you know, if this stays like this for 6 months, we could come back 6 months from now and pick up exactly where we left off. Open the session file, plug in the scanner, and whatever, continue scanning whatever we need. So we now have our saved session. We're good to go. Good. So now, yeah, so basically we have a choice. We could either send this to VX model like it is, and like we said, just flat fill the bottom with a disk, or we could add a scan, turn it around, scan the other side, and then merge those two together to have our fully complete merged part, basically, or as complete as possible.
Do we want to try that just to see here?
Or do we want something more complex to flip around?
I thought you had to do alignments or something before sending it to VX model, or?
Yeah.
At your XY.
Oh, the XY bit, that's true. It's better to do it in model because you have
Okay.
more options.
Okay.
There are more powerful features for that, different things you can do for your coordinate system. Yes, you can still do it here, but I think it's just better practice, especially with this version. Just do it with.
But so long as we have the raw thing, we can export it to
Absolutely.
model. And
Yeah, and yes, right now our coordinate system is screwed up in the air.
Okay.
One thing to note, the default coordinate system or reference that gets created is where I was when I pressed the trigger for the first time in my scan.
Okay.
And always Z pointing towards the object. So I think it's X, Y, and Z, where I was the very first time I pulled the trigger. That's what's set as the coordinate system, which obviously makes no sense in any kind of CAD or post-treatment software. You end up with like a whole bunch of hypotenuse dimensions and everything because you're way up out in.
Okay.
And what about these targets we had selected to fill the positioning targets?
Yeah, so if you hide the target, so you see the positioning in the navigation over here. If you click the eyeball,
Oh, I see.
they all go away, and we see a bulge, which isn't there in real life.
Oh,
So yes, we were a little too close for comfort,
gave it a bulge.
but you see why? Because the algorithm is picking up the 90-degree surface, trying to average it out. It's taking into account that perpendicular one in its calculation of the fill on the top one. So yes, I'd say about a good 85%, 90% of it is this face, but that 10% that's perpendicular is throwing it off in the overall average. To fix that, I could just cut it out and flat fill it after in VX model. Sometimes you don't have a choice.
So we didn't have a apply texture selected, so that's why I didn't.
That's right. That's why we have no
Gathering.
color. We have no texture. We don't know what the real color is.
Okay.
There's other things we can do with that too. I could show you. We could do another scan later and show you what it is with color. How with the color, what you can also do is once you map the color, the texture is kind of like a separate entity, if you will, in our navigation, like you see, and then you can define what the projection is. So you could create a box around on which it projects the color onto. Then you could take that as a flat bitmap, open it in Paint, scribble on it, bring it back onto your part with the scribble on it. So if you want, you could take the texture, export it, touch it up in Photoshop, take pictures, sample the colors with a high def, and then re-put that new improved texture right back onto your object.
So we could scan your bust and put Rob's face on it.
No, yes, you could.
Why not?
Wrap it.
Scanning his face, we do the semi-ridge.
Exactly.
Because it's moving.
Yeah, you're gonna stay as still as you can on the chair and not move, but you're still gonna breathe, you're still gonna move your eyes.
Am I getting my face scanned, guys? That's freaky. Are we doing this? I mean, I'm already worried about this thing, like, looking at me and listening. Anyways, I don't care. I don't care.
But that's, and again, that's the advantage of white light. You know, this guy's specifically used a lot in medical, orthotic design, prosthetics design, stuff like that. You sit down and scan whatever the lump of the leg that's left, your shoe, your foot, and then custom to fit. Options there. We could do exactly what you're doing, send to VX model, or we could export it this as an STL and open it later. So there's a difference between a session file and an STL.
Okay.
Right? If you just do the STL versus the session file, just to give you an idea, in terms of file size, we're talking 10 times smaller.
Sorry, say it again? It's 10 times smaller.
Smaller. The mesh will be about 10 times smaller than the session file.
I see, yeah. Just a bunch of rules and everything.
It's the session file has still physically all the points mapped data in space. When you just have the STL, you really just have the STL. You just have the triangles and the binary. That's it. So there's a big difference in quantity of information there. However, once you have just the STL, you can't play with the resolution.
Right.
You can't go back and adjust and do all that because you've set those triangles. That's it.
Take a snapshot.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So you could go ahead, yeah. You could even, yeah. So say save the mesh, save it as whatever bookend. Yeah. Wait a minute. Whoa. It says save as wavefront as save as an object. Oh, okay, that's because we have texture. For some reason, there's texture in the navigation, which you'll want to save it as an STL. So just go back here and save it as binary. Yeah. There we go. Okay, so now we have both. We can go ahead and send to VX model.